Welcome, motorsport fans. We are diving straight into this explainer of the totally completely revamped 2026 F1 season opener down at Albert Park. We've just witnessed a dramatic new era in motorsport. With massive regulation changes from the chassis all the way to the power units, the entire competitive order has completely shifted, and we are going to break down exactly how it all went down.
Here's the roadmap for today. We're going to hit the wild qualifying results, the race start, the mid-race strategy calls, the final highlights, and of course, those brand new 2026 championship point standings.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, looking at that crazy Saturday qualifying session. Mercedes showed up and were just incredibly fast right out of the gate. George Russell grabbed pole, and rookie Andrea Antonelli helped lock out the front row. But the real shocker of the weekend, defending champion Max Verstappen crashing out in Q1. A solo spin meant he couldn't even set a time and was totally eliminated. Absolutely unbelievable.
The raw pace for Mercedes was so dominant that even their biggest rivals were throwing in the towel on day one. Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur literally said, "Mercedes today was on another planet. We know that here they cannot be beaten." When a team principal concedes like that so early, you know the Mercedes car is completely untouchable.
Moving right along to Section 2, let's talk about the race start.
Picture this. The excitement is building, the cars are heading to the grid, and local hero Oscar Piastri crashes his McLaren on the reconnaissance lap. It's heartbreaking. He was out of the race before it even began, scoring 0 laps in front of his home crowd.
After that pre-race shocker, it's finally lights out. Russell easily holds on to the lead. Meanwhile, further back, Fernando Alonso pulls off an absolute rocket start, jumping from 17th all the way to 10th on the very first lap. It was incredible to watch, but unfortunately, it didn't last long. By lap 3, his pace drops and he starts tumbling back down the order. That brings us to Section 3. Let's dig into the race developments and the crucial strategic calls.
Following up on Alonso, it really turned into a nightmare Sunday for Aston Martin. On lap 10, a virtual safety car comes out and Alonso immediately pits. But right after getting back out there, he has major car trouble and ends up retiring on lap 21. His teammate Lance Stroll then also retires on lap 43, capping off a brutal double DNF.
Now, concerning the frontrunners, there is a massive question we have to ask. When that virtual safety car was deployed on lap 10, why on earth didn't Ferrari pit?
Well, the answer is that classic Ferrari Achilles heel, indecision. Their slow decision-making on the pit wall meant they completely missed the strategic window. That hesitation threw away any chance they had for a direct fight with Mercedes, even though they actually had the raw pace to challenge them.
Shifting gears back to Aston Martin for a second, their true pace was entirely masked by catastrophic internal issues. We're talking severe power unit and battery vibrations. In fact, Adrian Newey confirmed they were down to just 2 functional batteries. They basically had to write off the race and use it purely as a data-gathering session.
All right, let's head into Section 4 and check out the final race results and highlights.
Here is your final top 6. A historic 1-2 finish for Mercedes. Ferrari, paying for that strategy error, took 3rd with Charles Leclerc and 4th with Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris grabbed a solid 5th. And you absolutely cannot ignore Max Verstappen. He showed immense champion's grit, recovering all the way from the back of the grid to finish 6th. What a drive. Ultimately, though, this was George Russell's day. He commanded the first victory of the new 2026 technical regulations. Mercedes proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have mastered these new rules faster and better than anyone else.
So how does all of this shake out for the season? Let's check out Section 5, the 2026 championship points ranking.
Looking at the drivers, Russell is sitting pretty on top with 25 points. But how about rookie Antonelli? He is sitting right there in 2nd place with 18 massive points on his F1 debut. Then we've got the Ferrari duo, followed by Norris, rounding out the top 5. Now I want you to think about this number, 43. That is the massive, dominant haul of constructors' points that Mercedes secured in just one single weekend. When we look at the constructors' standings, that dominance really comes into focus. Mercedes at 43, Ferrari at 27. But look at Red Bull. Because of that qualifying disaster, they're starting the season in a distant 4th place with just 8 points. That is a massively steep hill they already have to climb.
Which leaves us with this final thought. With Mercedes operating on another planet and the rest of the field battling severe reliability and strategy woes, is the 2026 championship already wrapped up?
Or can Red Bull and Ferrari pull off a miracle and strike back? I don't know about you, but I literally cannot wait for the next race to find out. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we will catch you next time.